long time no see. So remember my first video way back when, I can't remember, a couple of months, when I said I was gonna make regular videos and then I didn't? Well, sorry about that, but life got a little bit crazy. I had a lot of essays due for university, read a lot of books, I got very distracted, and I didn't film videos. But I've got a lot of free time today and I'm going to attempt to film a few in one go so that I can just put them out when I feel like I need to. Okay, so today I'm going to do my bookish resolutions for 2015. Again, I'm incredibly late for this, but it's not February yet, so we're good. So, yeah, I've watched a lot of these and I feel like a lot of people do a specific number of books they're going to read this year, or a challenge, and it's normally really huge and incredibly terrifying. Like the people who say they're going to read 120 books or even 80 books, that number is huge and it's terrifying, and there's no way I'm ever going to read that many books in 1 year. Even if I read really quickly, it wouldn't happen. That's like one book every 3 days. So my number for this year, it's kind of it's not a number I've come up with off the top of my head. It's not that I've just gone, I'm going to read 60 books this year. My number for this year is a combination of the TBR challenge, which I believe was created by Benjamin of Tomes, I think, and is basically to read as many books on your TBR shelf as you can this year. So it's a combination of that and a number. And that number is how many TBR books I have on my shelf. Basically, I'm really not explaining this well. My plan for this year is to read all of the books on my TBR shelf. That doesn't mean I want my TBR for next year to be nothing. It just means that everything that was on my TBR shelf at the beginning of 2015 should not be on there by 2016. And that number of books is 47. Or it's 46 now because I've read one. I'm on my way. It's 47 books, which is a scary amount, but I feel like it's a doable amount. It's not 80 books. It's not quite 50. It's 47. So my overall plan is to read 47 books this year. Obviously, I'm going to be reading more because I'm an English lit student at university, so I have to read all of the books. I'm set for that, and that's about 3-ish every fortnight. So I will be reading more than 47, hopefully, but there are 47 books that I want to read for pleasure. And I will be doing a video on that separately that I will film probably in the next 5 minutes as soon as I finished that one. The other one of my bookish resolutions is to do more reviews. I haven't done any reviews last year, or for the few months that I actually had a channel last year. I haven't done any. I do have some planned. I'm going to film one of them today. Sneak peek, that one's for Afterworlds from Scott Westfeld. I just want to do more. I want to do more book reviews because I feel like talking about all the books I've bought, all the books that I've owned and I haven't read, isn't really as interesting and doesn't tell you much about what you should read. Whereas doing a review for one or a wrap up kind of does. So I'm going to be attempting that more. And to help with that, my other bookish resolution is to write things down. And I've started that with this. This is a book journal. I bought this in Paper Chase. I don't know whether there are paper chases outside of the UK or if it's a purely UK thing, but it is just basically a stationery store, a fancy stationery store. And so it's £7. And it's a book journal. It's really interesting. You have space for books to read, books borrowed, that goes halfway through, and then it just changes into book review pages. So, for example, in my books to read section, you probably can't see this because of the white balance, but this is how I calculated how many books I need to read. I just wrote down all of the ones on my TBR shelf that I haven't already read. So, yeah, so I just want to record things because on my bookshelf at home, which has all of the rest of my books on it, for those of you who haven't watched any of my previous videos, this is my university room, so this is my university bookcase. I know quite a bit for a university bookcase, but yeah. My bookcase at home, there are a lot of books that I know I've read at some point, so they're not on my TBR, but I can't remember that I like them, and I can't remember what the plot is, what it was about them that I liked or didn't like. And so I just think it's good for posterity's sake, even if I'm not able to make a book review on it, just to write down the author, the title, when I finished it, and whether I liked it. So, for example, this is the page for Afterworld. You probably can't read any individual words, but yeah. Okay. I think another bookish resolution that I've made this year is to buy less books. This bookcase here is basically a result of the book buying rage and compulsion you get when you start watching booktube videos and start taking part in them. Because I think Joel Books, I think that's him. He did a video on it and he talked about how people just start buying tons of books when they start watching YouTube because they see all these people with book hauls and everything looks interesting and they've never heard of that book before, but it looks really great. And yeah, that's what happened to me. Yeah. So that's this. I do want to read all of these books though, which is good. So buy less books. And I think those are the main resolutions I've made for this year. Just in general, not even bookish resolutions. Most of my resolutions are about books, actually. So yeah, read 47 books, try and get this TBR down pretty heavily. Buy less books, write things down and do reviews. 5 decent resolutions, I'm hoping, whether they're manageable. We'll see. Maybe you'll see another video next year telling you whether I managed to do these resolutions, or maybe I will have disappeared into the ether because I'm bad at this thing. But yeah, so hope you enjoyed it. You'll probably see me wearing this outfit again next week because, as I said, I'm going to pre-record a couple of videos right now. So, bye.